Oh wow, you're so cool, Ben.
I'm fucking cool.
That you are. Anyway,
Yeah.
this buffoonery aside, welcome back to this shithole. It's your boy. Once again, here, repping the Vigi games and so forth, because we're elite gamers and we're so cool. Oh, yeah.
We're cooler than you.
Huh?
We're cooler than you.
Yeah, that we are. I'm cooler than the rest of you guys, so, I mean, you're already pretty cool, but that just shows how not cool everyone else is, you know?
Man, I've been bested yet again.
Yeah, I won't argue with that.
Anyway, once again, we're back here, recording later than we usually do. This isn't going to affect anything when it comes to upload schedules or having issues with, 8 currently at the moment. We'll try and get it figured out at some point, but yeah, anyway, the main reason why I was bringing that up is because we took a week off, just enjoy the Christmas break and everything. We all celebrate Christmas here, and it was nice to have that, you know, with the family and whatever. We're back on, but with upload schedules and everything, with the lack of an upload schedule, which is, you know, fine. Again, we have obligations outside of this garbage heap. I at least sure hope we do.
I just go lie in my bed, just waiting for the next episode.
Oh yeah, I'm just sitting there for a whole week, just man, when can I talk to the homies again? Yeah, so I mean, I was gonna bring that up, but without an upload schedule or anything, doesn't really matter. We're recording this at a mysterious point in time. You have no idea. Ooh, spooky. Anyway, yes. So with that, we're here. We're queer. We've got stupid crap to whine about. Let's not waste any more time. Who done hath games that they wish to talk about?
I mean, I'm sure we all got at least some new games for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then
that's a good point.
Has anyone played said games for Christmas? At least tried them?
Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of the game Hades?
Yep,
I have.
I actually picked that up during the Steam sale.
Same.
I haven't yet to play it yet, though.
Yeah, I bought it for my little brother for Christmas. Just out of the blue, he asked if I would buy it for him. I was like, yeah, it's Christmas time, and it's not like I don't give you like a ton of stuff already. So yeah, it was mostly me watching him play because I bought it for him. But it's really, you guys like familiar with the premise at all or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm aware of what it is.
Was showing it off to me one time.
Yeah, really cool, like stylized game. A really like interesting take on the whole like is it like a genre of starting like the whole game over every time you die? Does that
like
yeah, I guess are all roguelikes like that? Because I kind of thought that was just like randomized levels.
Yes, because that's what Rogue was.
Okay.
That's what Rogue was. It's the original Rogue.
Oh, there's a Rogue.
I've also heard people call it Rogue Lite.
Yeah, it is more of a light from what I hear as well, because you actually like keep certain upgrades and stuff between runs and the like. You'll still have like progress resets, but it's not like the Binding of Isaac where it's like as soon as the run's done, it's done and you go back to square one again. Mm-hmm. So that's why I hear it more described as a light, L-I-T-E, instead of a like, L-I-K-E.
Mm-hmm. Would Dead Cells also be considered a light then? Because you go
from
back to the beginning, but like you don't necessarily like restart the entire game.
Yeah, again, from what I've heard, that's generally the consensus on that one too, is that it's more of a like, but I haven't played Dead Cells yet, so I can't say.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that they made it like a rogue light and not a rogue like, because they actually were able to kind of like weave sort of an interesting story out of that, because you're trying to escape hell, and because you're gaining upgrades as the game progresses, it actually like factors into the story that you keep having to reset, which makes for some like interesting character dynamics with like the bosses that you have to keep fighting and stuff like that. Like they acknowledge that like this is like your 20th run and you've like actually like become like friends over that period of time and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. A very clever take on on that style. Yeah.
I gotta play this now. I have it. I have it in my library, and I think I have it installed. I just haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I'm sure you like it a lot. Like I said, I haven't played it as much. I think after my brother's done with it, I'll give it a go myself. But I only played through it a little bit, and yeah, the action's has that nice weight to it that is really important, I think, for action games. There's a lot of different like ways of approaching it, and it has that my favorite type of design philosophy where it's simple to learn but hard to master. There isn't a ton of buttons or like weird combos you have to memorize. It's really just whatever weapon suits you best, you go with that, and you there's just you really just have to like the face buttons, and it's really just about reflexes and being smart with your movements and not like putting yourself in dumb situations and memorization and muscle memory. Yeah, so yeah, perfect type of like action game in my opinion.
That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to play it because I know it's got like nominated in several different places for Game of the Year. And Josh H really likes it. He's been playing it quite a bit. And yeah.
Yeah. Give it a go if you have the opportunity, which sounds like you do.
Yeah. Wait, Elias, do you have it or no?
No, I'm not really interested into it just because of the whole, like how the story takes place with the whole hell thing. I don't really care for it. It's a fun game to watch for sure, but I don't really care to play it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Anybody else have a game they got for Christmas that they want to talk about?
I got the game of the year in terms of like I guess like hype and controversy. I was gifted Cyberpunk 2077.
Ooh,
and
baby.
Have you played it yet?
I haven't really. Yeah, I've played a little bit of it. I think I played up until like you wake up in your house and you get started, I guess. So after like the rescue mission in the beginning and stuff.
So you did the heist and everything.
Yeah, so I think I have about an hour of playtime in it.
You've met Keanu Reeves now. Wholesome 100, Keanu Chungus, Reddit Gold.
I don't think I have. Because I started I did the Street Kid class. Yeah. And then I got to the point where we finished the rescue heist. The trauma team took the body away.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, so you played like an hour of the game.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I have an hour in the game. Yeah. And I was already getting bugs. The main one being that like every time, like everywhere I went, there was just like constant foliage in the distance. And I don't...
You need to update your drivers for that.
Oh, really?
Yep, that was the bug that was solved with the driver update. So if you keep seeing tiny trees all over the place, it's your drivers are outdated.
Okay.
I like
so there's...
Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Wait, what were you gonna say though?
I just find the concept of like little trees appearing in like a big like desert or like in a junkyard like kind of humorous.
Spirit of Bob
they're
Ross
just like constantly in the distance.
Yeah. You're like
Bob Ross's soul lives in Cyberpunk.
Okay. As you were saying, sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, and then I saw like the infamous sleeping angle that your character that V does. Where he's like sideways on the bed,
hanging off the head. Yeah,
and that was entertaining. But overall, I feel like the shooting is pretty fun. Like the shooter aspect is like, it's nice. It's got great sound design. The game looks pretty good. I've obviously played better shooters, so it's not anything revolutionary in that respect. It's just, I guess, it's fine. It looks pretty good. I'm running it on a 1080. So I mean, like I'm mostly on on ultra graphics, and I get some frame drops in some areas, but other than that, it's pretty okay. Overall, I'm not blown away by it. It's all right. I don't know if I'm going to see myself doing much of the side quests. I'm probably just going to finish the game for the sake of finishing it and then see where I'm at from there.
you're gonna definitely want to do some side quests though, because that'll open up your possibility for different endings. So here I go butting myself into this conversation because I was gonna save my cyberpunk talk for when we were doing our normal what we plan and whatever, but I guess we're already there.
I thought that's what we were doing.
I let this ship steer in a weird direction. Since you were already talking about cyberpunk, I will bring up my experience. So last time when we were talking about the cyberpunk, more like I was complaining about it and its poor performance and stuff like that, I claimed that I was shelving the game. Shortly after, I stated that I was getting advertisements, targeted ads, and in this case it worked, for NVIDIA GeForce Now, which is a streaming service where... Yeah, boy. You can
sounds like a good streaming service.
You can take games that are already in like your Steam, Ubisoft, or Epic game libraries, and you can stream them via the cloud, so you're running it off like a really nice supercomputer off who knows where, and you stream it to your internet. Now, obviously, I've got a potato computer. It's not that good. Completely understandable. That was my dad, if you didn't hear him just now. Anyway, with that and everything, I finally was able to like, play the game, and like I'm playing it at like a steady performance. I was like 1080p, ultra settings on everything. I even ran some bits with ray tracing with DLSS. This is my very first ray tracing experience, and it looks great. Yeah, no, it's certainly really great. I am within a privileged position to have fiber optic internet, so there was like I didn't notice like any input delay or anything. It looked great, played great. Even then, there were still bugs that I obviously ran into. It is certainly not a perfect experience, but obviously the high-end PC experience is definitely the way to go for the game that, or even playing it on Google Stadia. But yeah, so I finished Cyberpunk 2077. Actually, I'm not going to spoil anything. It's really cool how it opens up towards the end of the game to really branch off into dramatically different endings with dramatically different things that happen to the character. It's a really sad game. I think I got what was even considered one of the happier endings, and even then it was still really dour, so have fun with that.
I mean, it is kind of in like it is kind of a staple for cyberpunk genre stuff to be like, I guess, more like dour, like you said, more kind of bleak, because I mean it's one of the main like focuses is like a dystopian, capitalist, like late stage capitalist like future where everything is shitty.
And I mean that's true, but this is more on a personalized angle for the character of V, him or herself. But yeah, no, it's certainly pretty good. It's kind of funny because I was talking about The Witcher 3, obviously, like episodes ago, and I hailed it as like my favorite game of the past console generation, and I still stand by that. But even I noticed how much I let CD Projekt Red's reputation off of one singular game really get to me, in a way that I've never held the philosophy that companies are my friends. They're not. They're corporations. They hate you and they want you to die and they want your money. And CD Projekt Red certainly no exception, but they were always framed as one of the better guys in the whole situation because they're like, hey, we care about our products and whatever. But with the botched release of the game, the poor marketing, all of this nonsense, and the fact that even then, as I played the game, I certainly enjoy it, but I've got a lot of problems with it, and I'm not going to go into a laundry list of details because we need to end this sometime tonight. I'm working on like a formal review that I will get published at some point that will cover all of that. But yeah, again, I really let that reputation as CDPR really get to me. So I wasn't necessarily let down because I still went in with immensely low expectations because I was gifted a copy of the game by the time the release controversy was already in full swing, so like my expectations immediately plummeted. But even then, it's good. It's not great. It's got a lot of problems with it. It's interesting. CD Projekt Red has done better. And hopefully with free content updates down the line, because they're talking about like, yeah, we'll add new quests, we'll do some new free stuff in there, and some tweaks to the gameplay, and even fixing the bugs and whatever will certainly be great, because as it stands now, Cyberpunk 2077 is a really interesting RPG in terms of its story mechanics, but it's a really boring Borderlands ripoff when it comes to its gunplay, and its driving is worse than like Grand Theft Auto 4's, which is saying something. So, yeah, no, if you want to play Borderlands, but far more boring, I guess Cyberpunk will really do it for you, if you don't care about the story. But if you're to play Cyberpunk, the only way that you should play it, though, is if you're caring about the narrative. Because the narrative is strong, the narrative is great. Don't get me wrong, it's freaking fantastic. It's amazingly written, and the characters are amazing, but, yeah, that gameplay, man. How boring it is. Holy crap.
Yeah, I gotta say,
Anyway.
like, from the hour that I played, I wasn't really that invested, because in terms of recent games that I've played with, like, that are, like, shooters and have, like, good gunplay and stuff, Doom definitely has the top spot right there for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, going from Doom and then to Cyberpunk is, like, quite a downgrade.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty good. I'd still recommend it.
It's all right.
After it gets patched.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough Cyberpunk discussion for the day.
Yeah. The only other game I played, because I got a gift card for Christmas and I bought the Rudy Tooty Shooty Cowboy game. So I got Red Dead Redemption 2. And I played.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I played about 30 minutes of that, so I got past the prologue. And like this one definitely pulled me in a little more than Cyberpunk, like just overall, because the gameplay feels more polished. The voice acting was like was pretty good. I gotta say Cyberpunk's voice acting is a little bit like, I don't know, try hard edgy sometimes. And so yeah, I don't know. I like so far what I've experienced with Red Dead. But the ginormous amount of like playtime required to really get into it is kind of scaring me. So I don't know. I'll probably go back to that in like in a couple months or something.
Sounds like you're getting kind of a
Looks great though. I mean, it's a fantastic looking game.
Sounds like you're kind of getting a fatigue from like really like large open world games or something.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
because
that happens to me as well. That's why I usually try to pace them out. Why I played Doom Eternal before I played Cyberpunk, and why I'm, cutting back onto smaller things after Cyberpunk as well. Like I get it. It's a bit hard to have two active open world games going at the same time. It's kind of overwhelming.
Do you guys
from
know?
Experience?
Do you guys know the perfect remedy to that?
Play an indie game?
Yeah.
well, I mean,
or Mario.
At the same time, I'm also replaying Breath of the Wild, so like that's like my main open world game at the moment. So
freaking 3 at the same time.
Jeez.
Mad
well,
lad.
Jesus.
Well, I'm not
Jesus.
playing through all 3 at the same time.
Well, yeah,
I downloaded
you're not simultaneously. You have 3 screens running.
Well, no. No, what I mean to say is I downloaded the other 2 to like test them out and see like if they like grabbed my attention, and I'm shelving them until later after I've played a few games, and then I'm wanting to pick up an RPG again, because right now the one I'm focusing on is Breath of the Wild again. So, and it's weird because I feel like I'm enjoying it more than my first time around. It's like a whole new game almost, because like the world is so just freaking big.
Nice. Yeah, I need to do that too sometime.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like a entirely different experience. I've done the Divine Beasts in a different order. I ran into things that I didn't see before because I'm actually spending time to like invest myself in the game and not try to rush everything. So I'm like, if I see something that piques my interest on the map, I'll be like, oh, what does this lead to? Or like, oh, what is that in the distance? And I'll go check it out because, it's an open world game and just take it at your own pace. So I'm just like, I don't have any like thing that I'm really trying. I'm not trying to speed run. So I'm just going to go check all these things out and see what's up. And yeah, it's been pretty fun.
Nice. Sounds awesome.
So yeah, those are the. I guess that's the run through of my games. So Yeah.
Wicked. Elias, talk about your stuff.
Sorry for the ASMR sound. Late, so I'll go through mine real quick because I played a few. Started Doom Eternal. Ethan, you were completely right. This is more for me than Doom 2016 was. Doom 2016 was good, but like it's fast. I love it. It's been like a adrenaline pump, so it's been fun.
Oh, I know.
So Doom
I'm glad
great.
you like it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely great. So Doom Eternal, I'm looking down my list. I know Rocket League is the constant. Today was a good day with Rocket League. Destroyed a bunch of people. I don't think I lost a game today. That was nice. And then I started Heavy Rain. Thank you very much again, Ethan, for the present. Heavy Rain.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
For context, I gifted everybody, in this chat and plenty of other people in our like little friend Discord server something on Steam for Christmas. It has completely destroyed me financially, but I did it anyway. And some people have been very kind and sent stuff back to me, and some people have been a little too generous with some of the stuff that they've sent me, like sending me expensive games and whatever, but it's much appreciated. I'm glad you guys are enjoying your gifts. I just want to say that. Love you guys.
We love you too.
Because I started playing your
games.
I started playing your gift to me too. It's flower.
I would have gotten you something on additionally, but like you didn't really have much on your wish list that was like under $20, so it was kind of hard for me to find something because I was like, there's other people I need to buy for too.
And that was perfect because I was on that like micro game kick, so I'm probably going to be doing more of that, like starting probably tomorrow.
I'm not the hero you wanted, but the hero you deserved.
The hero I deserved. Thank you.
Anyway, go ahead, Elias.
But yeah, Heavy Rain. I was 100% expecting to play that in English because I didn't think there was a dub in any other language. I thought it was just going to be English. They apparently have a Japanese dub. So hearing, I forget the main, Ethan's the main guy's name, right? Yeah. Hearing him say Jason in a Japanese accent is the funniest thing. So it kind of broke immersion. But I forgot how...
Wait for the Sean part.
I know.
Sean.
I forgot how like aesthetically pleasing that game is because I remember watching a playthrough of it like a long time ago when it came out. So I'm kind of excited to play it myself. It's like hazy memories of kind of what happened, so it'll be fun to play it again. And the
isn't that kind of like a film noir type feel to it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I forget how like good it does at setting up these like simplistic relationships, but that still have a good amount of power behind them. Because like that first scene where Jason gets run over by a car, spoiler, it's not that far in, it's like crap, like it still sucks because they do set up like a little bit of a relationship there, which for like 10 minutes of gameplay, it's pretty well done. But yeah, so Heavy Rain, I'm excited to keep playing that one. And then I got gifted as a joke 2 Sakura games. For those of you who don't know what Sakura games are, these are a visual novel series that are known for being shit and having big titty anime girls.
Amazing.
My friend gifted me
only
2
the
of them,
finest art.
right? He gifted me Sakura Gamer and Sakura Sadist as a joke. And me being the idiot that I am, I'm going to finish those out of spite. I've already spent 120 minutes in Sakura Gamer. Story is shit. Writing sounds like a 7th grader trying to sound like a college level student, using big words when he doesn't know what he's doing. I got frick. What was the one? There was one line where he was like, the main character was saying, "Oh, the temptation of her sultry dress was difficult for me to." What was the word for like it was something like escape from or something like that, but it was like a different word. I just sat there like, cool, you can use big words, wow, congratulations. But it's been funny just because of what happens, so it's okay. And then the last game I had played this last week, my friend and I got bored of Modern Warfare and that garbage, and so we were looking for free games on Steam, and we found one called Synthetic Arena. It's like it's a roguelite, I will say that. But top down, where you work as a team of up to 4 people. Each of them have special abilities, and you actually basically get punished if you don't have a full team. So we were running 2 out of 4, and it's a freaking hard game. Like each player has very specific abilities that when you work together as a team, really do help kill all these enemies on the field as you go through and slowly upgrade weapons and whatnot. but it's fun. I just wish I had more people to play that with, because it's definitely a 4-person game, not a 2-person game.
I'm downloading it now. It's free to play, and it looks kind of cool. I just caught some of the trailer on Steam. Yeah, it looks like it's something that's might be up my alley. But even if it isn't, it's free. Exactly. What am I losing? Yeah.
So that might
have to grab that too. Maybe we can do that for another game session.
Yeah, that one was pretty fun for sure. But yeah, I think that's all I've been playing this week. So, but yeah, mainly.
Wow, that's a tiny download.
Yeah, it's like a gig.
Already finished.
But yeah, Doom Eternal.
Good internet
has been the highlight of the week. Definitely love Doom Eternal. So.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and play this game during this podcast, and then have a discussion for it at the end.
Oh no. That game fast. That game very concentrate. Good luck talking.
Very concentrate.
Jumping on to me now, because I'm always famous for having the most within a given week, and this appears to be true once again. Especially with the 2 weeks. I already bitched about Cyberpunk. Well, not really bitched. I mean, kinda. Like, again, it's good, but it's got problems, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I too... Sorry. Banging going on outside my room.
Who's there?
That's my dad. He's doing some work on the bathroom, which is right next to my room. So anyway, played Doom Eternal. More of that. I've already talked about it in depth, how much I love it. It's a freaking great game, absolutely amazing. Cream my jeans, so good. I got all the collectibles, because I finished the game again, and then I went back through all those missions, and I got all the collectibles. Then I got the deluxe edition or whatever of the game, and I bought that through the Windows Store because it was on sale during the Game Awards sale, and it was like $30. So I was like, it's $30. I already put investment in this version of the game. Whatever, don't care. It comes with the expansion pass, and with that I have the very first expansion, The Ancient Gods Part 1. Oh my hell. It is hard. It is very, very hard. It very much takes an intriguing design philosophy for expansion content by actually just being a direct follow-up in terms of not only its story, but also its difficulty to where the base game ends. So you are starting Doom Eternal's Ancient Gods with the hardest enemies in the game within the first level, multitudes of them, buffed versions of them. Very rarely are you going to find the little tiny pipsqueak zombie army men or anything like that. For the most part, you are running into mid-tier demons on the low end for the most part. And then you are getting thrown Barons of Hell, Tyrants, Marauders, Pain Elementals, Archviles, some of the nastiest bitches that you will deal with in that game, and they will throw multiple of them at you at the same time. It is crushingly difficult, but it's so much fun, and I had a ton of fun playing it. It is about a 4 to 6 hour anxiety attack, but it's great. I'm really excited if you guys play through Doom Eternal to then play the DLC and see how you feel about it, because I thought it was great. They introduced a couple new mechanics into it that previously weren't in Doom Eternal. It's very much like a very light update in terms of that, just like a couple little things here and there, but for the most part you're there just for the extreme challenge and the expansion of the story that was already there. There's only 3 levels. But again, it's like around 4 to 6 hours. It's long. The levels are very long. And by the time that you finish one, your hands will be shaking. You'll probably be crying. And you'll probably want to take a break. I finished it within a day because I'm a freaking crazy person, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Nevertheless, I still had fun, but I felt absolutely fantastic by the time I was done. I felt like $1 million, like I could, freaking, take on God in a fist fight after playing through it. So, yeah, it's great. I'm really excited to see what they do for Ancient Gods Part 2, because if it's actually that hard for this DLC, I am absolutely terrified for what the hell they're going to do for the next one, because how can it get any worse? Knock on wood, it's going to be terrible. Anyway, outside of Doom, I played Ion Fury, which was gifted to me by a friend. Another friend gifted this to me for Christmas because I gifted him a copy of A Medieval, one of the greatest boomer shooters out there on the market right now. Ion Fury is another boomer shooter. It's built in the build engine, and that scratching your heads. What's that? That's the game engine that Duke Nukem 3D, Blood, Shadow Warrior, Redneck Rampage, like those games were built in. It's an updated source port of the build engine, so you're running. I think it's running through like eDuke 32, which is just like an updated version of that, because there's no way that you could get Ion Fury to run on like an old potato PC from the 90s. It would probably blow that computer up. Nevertheless, Ion Fury is really cool. But it's got a lot of problems compared to other build engine shooters, because I've only played 3. I've played Duke Nukem 3D, Blood, and Shadow Warrior. I like all 3 of them. Blood is easily the best of the 3. And Ion Fury shares the most in common with Blood in terms of its enemy designs, is it feels like it's a mishmash of all these other build engine games put together into something that is kind of original, but also mostly a homage of older material. It's kind of like reference the video game in a lot of places. Your main character, her name is Shelly Bombshell something. I don't remember her last name. Anyway, she's not that great of a character anyway. She just kind of has like this like standard like tough white lady voice where she like spews movie references as she's like blowing people's heads off and whatever. But it's just lacking a lot of charm and personality in terms of its weapons, its characters, and its enemies. But the levels are great. There's a couple pretty bad ones in there, not gonna lie. But for the most part, the levels are actually really well designed, and they're freaking great. Like, they're really good. Especially for a game that was released in 2019, built in a game engine from like 94. So, it's really cool. It's certainly worth playing if you're into boomer shooters, but if you're not into the keycard hunting, main character spews reference, haha funny, hit scan enemies up the ass, and you're going to just keep dying over and over and over and over again, and the quick save button is your next best friend, I wouldn't recommend it. Because even playing it on normal difficulty for my first run, it took me 9.5 hours to finish it, and I died a lot. It's pretty nuts, but it's still worth a go. And yeah, no, it's not bad. It's pretty good. But lastly, I played the big game of the season, not Cyberpunk. I made the mistake of buying the PC version of Call of Duty, Cold War, Black Ops.
Disgusting.
Ass eat. Well, the main reason why I got the PC port was because it's like, hey, mouse and keyboard support. That's going to be a hell of a lot better, especially with cross-play in these games. That was false. Controller people get so much auto-aim, it's absolutely disgusting. It's disgusting. What's funny, I play Halo the Master Chief Collection, right? I play that on PC, play it against console people. I feel that's really well balanced between the two. I still lose matches in Halo the Master Chief Collection, but I do about as well as I would expect. If I'm playing a mode like SWAT, where it's just precision weapons and no shields, I freaking annihilate the entire team, and it's freaking great. I love playing SWAT with a mouse and keyboard and everyone else has a controller. It's cathartic. If I just need a laugh, I'll just do that. But anyway, the auto aim that's gifted in Master Chief Collection is understandable. Again, you need to be able to have that, competition between people and whatever, and it's balanced, and I feel like I have fun. Like, I still have those frustrating moments of multiplayer, but most of the time it's like, oh, I was outplayed, or that bitch got to the rocket launcher before I did, I hate his guts, I want to freaking go and, kill his dog. Not really, it's a joke. Not that, hey, this person has a stupid dumbass aimbot that was programmed by the developers into the game to coddle him and give him a little binky and be, oh, you cute boy, oh, his wife's so high, well, you got controller, woo, woo, woo. Because it's ridiculous. I still have matches where I do really, really good in. Sniping is especially pretty fun to do, but it's really annoying when I constantly take a look at my kill cams and I find people that are getting like targeted onto my head so freaking easily, and that I'm the only PC player in lobbies, because I think most PC players like have understood like you don't get Call of Duty on PC, like you just don't, you get it on console, because the thing is like it still plays fine with a controller. Again, I am someone who did the primary transition that my shooters are played on a mouse and keyboard instead of a controller, but Call of Duty still feels pretty good on a controller, all things considered. So I learned my lesson. Next year's Call of Duty will be bought on a PlayStation, with whatever PlayStation I have at that point. Not buying it on PC, even if I get a really good rig, that's not happening. That's sticking to a console. Anyway, multiplayer, it's all over the place, if you can't tell. I played some Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm surprised you bought it. I mean, again, you teach their own, right? But like, when they had the open beta, I played the open beta, and it was like the clunkiest, most garbage-feeling piece of garbage ever. And even from then, you could easily tell like how bad the auto-aim discrepancy was. Because
I'm a campaign player of Call of Duty as well.
Same. Okay, I can see that then. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
That's the thing. If it was like a multiplayer only, I definitely would have maybe skipped it. But I'm a Call of Duty campaign player as well.
Because I am too.
Because this is what I was going to get at as well, like immediately after. I have a long-running reputation among my friends that I have played and beaten every single Call of Duty campaign on veteran difficulty. Nice. Yes, including World at War. I did that shit on an Xbox.
Oh my god.
I will never go through that pain again. That was torture. That was awful. But yes, every Call of Duty 1, Call of Duty 2, you name it, I did it. Obviously, some of them are easier than others. World at War, great example. Oh my hell, that was awful. Modern Warfare's Mile High Club was also really painful, but I did it. But I played through Black Ops Cold War's campaign, which, if I'm hearing correctly, was primarily helmed by Raven Software, not Treyarch, weirdly enough, because they needed, because this game was made on a much shorter schedule because Treyarch, Sledgehammer, the people who made Advanced Warfare and Call of Duty World War II, they were set. This was their year to pump out a Call of Duty game because they were running on a 3-year cycle, trading off between Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer. But the thing is that Sledgehammer and Raven has been like a subset studio that's helped like with every Call of Duty game for the past who knows how long, instead of making good original games like what they used to. But apparently Raven and Sledgehammer like really butt heads really bad, and so I don't know if Sledgehammer is completely out of the picture already on Call of Duty or if they just got shunted to the side for now. But Raven and Treyarch cooperated together to make this one on a much shorter schedule, and I feel really sorry for the devs because I'm almost like 100% sure this game was crunched to get out.
I could agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, the campaign though is actually pretty good. I feel that way about most Call of Duty campaigns, if I'm to be completely honest. I know like every year you get the same old people, Call of Duty campaign shit, it's so bad, and it's like, well, I mean, it's like a 6. It's a stupid ass Michael Bay movie that you freaking interact with. Like, of course it's freaking stupid. Are you expecting high art? Like, shit, dude, go play Fallout New Vegas or something if you want a good story. Eat my ass, whatever. I'm here to just blow stuff up and, kill the flavor of the weak Russian bad guy or whatever, whose name I will not remember the day after I finish it, which, fun fact, we are currently... No, wait, I think his name's Perseus. I think I remembered. Fantastic, look at me. It's been a day.
Nikolai.
And I remember. Nikolai. Great. Oh, bad guy. It's a brown guy. Shoot him. It's Call of Duty. Colonialism. Yeah, so I mean, the politics of Call of Duty have always been absolute trash. I mean, don't get me started on that. But anyway, I enjoy them. And for Black Ops Cold War, I enjoyed the campaign, actually. It was quite fun. I played it on Veteran. It was so freaking easy. This is the easiest Veteran campaign I've played. And I felt that way with some of the other Veteran campaigns for the past like couple of years, or they were getting increasingly easier. Holy hell. I did this so fast, so breezy. I think certainly it helps with a mouse and keyboard. I just have a semi-automatic rifle, and I just boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot, boom, headshot. It's like, great, done, let's move on. It's a fun little shooting gallery. The missions are really cool. There's some really cool characters. You get a lot of Black Ops characters returning. You get Woods, you get Mason, Hudson. You get the new guy, Adler, who's become like a big meme online. But yeah, the campaign's good. Elias, have you played the campaign?
No, I didn't buy the game, so...
You haven't bought the game? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the only reason why I nabbed it was because it was on sale. It was like $40. I was like, it's $40. Yeah, why not? So I picked it up, and... Again, I regret getting it on PC, but I played the campaign. I had a lot of fun with the campaign. It was really good. And then last day I played a bit of Zombies, and Zombies is all right. That's all I have to say for now.
It'll never be the same again. I miss old Zombies, dude. Old Zombies was the best Zombies.
It's still, yeah, no, I have a lot of fun with old Zombies, but I still like this one. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's a showstopper or anything, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's better than the multiplayer.
If it's on sale, I might buy it just for the campaign, because the campaign's always fun for me. So
yeah, it currently is on PC, but you can nab it on other systems. I think the sale ends on January 5th or 10th. I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I'll buy it from PC either way. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, but yeah, that's everything in which that I have done played during the week. I'm once again, here with the most games. Really sorry. I have started working on other games, though, but I'll keep it a secret for now. Ooh. In fact, some people know I've already been, like I was talking with the mates earlier today, they already know I've started Hollow Knight, but the other one I'll keep a secret for now.
Yeah.
Yes, I've started Hollow Knight, but I don't have any thoughts yet. Well,
can you at least say where you are?
Oh yeah.
I'm in Greensburg. What's the Green Path?
Green Path.
Like you just barely started it?
How?
I started it today. Yeah.
Well, you just barely started Green Path.
No, I'm trying to figure out where I need to go right now in it, because I just killed.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I just killed the dude. I killed the dude who has the shield, and you get locked in that one room with him, who spits stuff at you every now and then, and he walks around and does like a 1-2 attack on you. I'm stuck around there. My dad's running a drill right now. Awesome. Oh my hell! It's 11 o'clock on a weeknight.
Do you think your dad heard
that?
11. Yeah. Parents just don't respect the arts.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys heard it. That's fine. It's just, oh, my goodness, dude. It's 11 o'clock on a weeknight. You're running a drill? Goodness.
On my recording, you might hear my little brother in the background.
Yeah, we can leave that in. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going from there. I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, so far, I really love the atmosphere. The art is great. Mm-hmm. The music is so good.
Yeah. The music, man.
So good. This is my first, actual, I think, full-on Metroidvania experience, because I don't think I've actually played a Metroidvania before.
Oh, yeah?
Cool.
I think I was the same when I played, yeah.
Yeah, so...
I played Metroid before.
I've gotten attached to it pretty easily, though. I know what I'm doing, and in terms of mechanics and everything, it's obviously I need to use the downward slash to bounce off of this guy to get to this area, and I need to use this ability and whatever. Because I always knew that it was whole places are locked off for you or whatever, depending on what you're doing at any which point in time. So, but yeah, no, it's cool. It's good. Like what I'm doing so far. And there we go again.
Your dad agrees.
Anyway,
This is the most Scott episode we've had.
There's a lot of chaotic energy going on here.
Yeah, so much energy in general.
His dad is just lawful chaotic.
he big nuts.
Papa Big Nut.
Papa Big Nut. Anyway, we were chatting about because we were gonna start running on GRIS.
GRIS.
We here be greasy boys this week. What was recommended by Ben last time is the cinematic kind of very chill platformer puzzle game GRIS. Yeah. So I will hand it off to Ben. This was his recommendation. Let him explain GRIS and let him share his thoughts first.
Yeah, so I decided to recommend it because because we were toying with the idea of like doing like a game of the week thing on the last podcast, and I just like opened Steam and looked around, and then I saw this one that popped up, and so I just clicked on it because it looked like because the cover made it look like an interesting indie game. And so I wanted to check it out, and then saw the trailer and really liked the art style. Then I heard some of the music, and I was like, okay, this one looks pretty cool. If we want to because last time we did Blood and Bacon, and that one was
polar opposite
in the complete opposite direction. That was more just
that game's a shit post.
That was more of like a shit post type game, which was really fun. Like we had a blast playing it. This time around, I guess I wanted to try something that was more on the serious end of things. So if you're not familiar with GRIS, or GRIS, however you want to pronounce it.
It is pronounced GRIS. I looked it up. The official Twitter account for them has stated that it is pronounced GRIS because it is spelt as what is essentially gray in French and Spanish. And it is pronounced GRIS.
It's a very multicultural game, I've realized. But anyway, continue.
GRIS, starring John Travolta.
Yes. You're the one that I want. But anyway, so yeah, it's a puzzle platformer. It's got like this watercolor art style. It's got some really neat like ambient like synth, but also piano-ish like music. It's really chill. I guess like my thoughts on it. It didn't take that long to beat. I was able to finish like the base game in like 3 hours. So didn't really take that long to beat. I just did it in like an evening. I really liked. I just really liked the atmosphere of it. In terms of like the story, I couldn't exactly tell what was going on for most of it.
It's an indie game about depression.
Yeah, big depresso.
Question.
I would like this game is what I like to call a gallery game. It's a game that's like, look at all these cool little things we designed in the background.
It's undeniably beautiful in terms of its aesthetics.
That's like my favorite thing about it. I think.
Yeah, easily the best part in my opinion.
Whoever the artist is, I forgot their name. They were like mentioned a few times in the credits and in interviews and stuff like that when I was researching the game. But whoever you are very talented. I think my favorite area of the game hands down got to be the forest area. I just really loved like the style of like geometric trees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really really unique and just really, I don't know, atmospheric. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know. It was just really cool. I liked the idea of the little like forest friend following you around, and then you get to feed it apples and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending of the game I thought was really cool. The whole massive blackness that was chasing you the whole time in the form of either like a bird or an eel or whatnot was pretty interesting. The animation on that was gorgeous.
That was mind-boggling.
And when I finished the game, and then I liked what I saw, and I took my own meaning from it, and then I went to go research what it was supposed to be, and the developers themselves said there wasn't really like any set meaning that they gave it.
That's the most pretentious thing that you can do for your art project. To be completely honest, if you go, ooh, it's entirely up to the viewer on how to interpret it. Like you think it's like some total like big brain thing. That is the most pretentious thing that you can do to like your art out there. I kid you not. It is even worse than someone like beating the meaning of their story over your head. It's even worse than that. Yes, you knew what you were doing. Stop running around and toying around and saying, yeah, like people can have their own interpretations of art and anything, but like you obviously had an intent on what you were making. Like, why are you being a mamsy-pamsy ass about it? If you can't tell, I have some very mixed opinions about this game. We'll get to that eventually. I will let Ben continue.
Yeah, about that, I when I read the interviews, I saw that that's what their approach was, and I thought that was okay. I don't really have that much of a strong opinion on that approach of art, because I mean, if I could take my own like meaning from it, then that's cool, I guess. I don't really like consider it high art by any means when you do that, but it's, I don't know, it's whatever. But they obviously did have a direction they were going in though, because when I went to 100% it, which is actually decently easy. So I mean, if you want to get the achievements, if you want to get the gamer points, if you have it on Xbox or whatever, I'd go for it. It took
there
me
are no achievements in the
two.
Xbox version. I looked it up because I saw it was on Game Pass on PC. I already had it on Steam, but I was like, well, I'll use it to flesh out my Xbox profile. Yeah, man. I'll get some easy achievements, right? And then I downloaded it, and then I saw there's no achievements. So I was like, well, that's weird. Right. There's Steam achievements, so I just played it on Steam.
Yeah, and the achievements were really easy to get.
It might have trophies on PlayStation, though. I'm sorry to interrupt,
maybe.
But I think whatever. It's not on Xbox consoles, though. It's like everywhere but the console.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. But yeah, like the way that like once you finish the game and you can re-access like all the chapters and stuff, that like it makes like getting to certain spots for achievements really easy. So in terms of like design for completion, they did a good job there, because I'd never felt like I was grinding anything, which is cool. But yeah, once you complete the game, you discover that there is like a pretty set meaning for it. And so you're just like, oh, yeah, okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about that. I didn't 100% it. I was at dinner with Ben the other day. We were on a date, and we
yes, it was very romantic. We ate bunker.
Yeah. My little brother was there. He keeps worming the way back into the conversation. But we were talking about the game for a little while, and I kind of told him my interpretation that I got from it. And Ben said that the 100% ending kind of contradicted that. And I'm not really sure how I feel about that, because I think the difference between, say, art and propaganda would be that propaganda tells you how to think, and art gives you things to think about. So the idea that playing the game kind of invalidates my own personal experience feels kind of strange. So, like, let me give you like my personal interpretation as somebody that did not 100% the game, and I do not know anything about the 100% ending. My interpretation was that the character that you play as is the soul of the. Okay, so there's a statue of a girl in the game, and you play as like this weird, like it looks like it kind of looks like her. She has like a bit shorter hair. It's like so my interpretation was that you're playing as the soul of this girl that you see the statues of, and at the beginning of the game you can't walk and you can't sing, you can't do anything really. And so my interpretation was that it is a metaphor for losing your voice, and sort of like the rehabilitation and bringing color back into your life, because that's a major mechanic of the game, is bringing color into the life, so the game becomes more vibrant as the game goes. And by the end of the game, you get your voice back, and the darkness goes away. So it's like, I saw it as a as kind of recapturing your voice and bringing color back into your life through acts of like, well, I want to say like being like productive and being proactive and because like you start off with like barely any movement abilities and you kind of gain them as you go, and it gives you the ability to do more like crazy maneuvers as the game goes. So I saw that as you become more able to like how should I put this? You develop the abilities to overcome obstacles throughout the game, and by doing that you kind of bring the color back into your life, and so it's kind of like a metaphor for rehabilitation and regaining your voice. And
I like that approach, honestly.
Yeah. And you think that the 100% ending kind of contradicts what I said, like the girl that you play as is not the soul of the statue or whatever, and it's like different than that.
I would say it contradicts it, and the achievements itself do as well, because the thing that the game, I mean, does anyone care if I spoil 100% ending of the achievements?
I'm not freaking playing any of them.
Yeah. Okay, so the game is about grief and loss, and you understand that when you start playing through the 100% and getting all the achievements and stuff like that. There are 5 achievements which are named after the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah, I noticed that. I got one of them because like I was already kind of like thinking that anyway. It's like this is either some game where it's about like, oh, I lose me passion and I'm so depressed, or oh, I lose somebody or something and I'm so depressed. It's like it's either one of these two things, and I was right, because indie games about sadness or whatever have one of 2 modes, and this is one of them.
Yeah.
Because we can't get more complex than that, apparently.
But yeah, so each of those achievements relates, like you pretty much like do a specific action that like it usually involves the statue of the weeping woman that triggers the achievements, and it starts from like I think the first one's like anger, and then it's like, and then it goes from there: anger, bargaining, depression, whatever, and then up to acceptance. And so basically once you get to the end of the 100%, you unlock the secret ending called childhood. And then it shows you this small cutscene where it shows the player character and the
statue,
like the person the
statue lady.
Yeah, shows the statue lady there, and they're sitting in a field and they're watching like the stars, and they're talking about the constellations, which brings together the theme of like, the stars playing a
they're actually like talking
throughout the rest of the game. Well, it shows them like talking, but they don't say anything. You don't hear any dialogue.
Is there like subtitles?
No, it's all just like visual.
That's good. All
representation.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all visual. So it shows them, like spending time together in this field, looking at the constellations and stuff. And pretty much that's it. That's the end cinematic. But pretty much what they're saying is that the player character is someone who lost somebody and is going through the 5 stages of grief. And what we're seeing is kind of like a metaphorical representation of that, where at the beginning she's stricken, with not being able to, the initial stages of grief when you lose someone incredibly close to you is like, a lot of people feel like the world is ending, and they can't do anything. They're in a, so that's kind of where she lost her voice. You can't hardly move and stuff like that. And then as you go on, and then you're advancing through the stages of grief, you're bringing color back into your world. And then finally at the end is when she reaches that acceptance, and then she can finally let go of the person that she lost, and let her memory kind of, keep her going. And so that's the basic story of GRIS, is that she lost someone and she goes through the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah, that's all well and good if that's like the intent of the artist. But here's the thing. This game is so surreal, and like it has no dialogue. It doesn't even really have a set story. It's all imagery and visual storytelling. The idea of like having a very definitive ending and like very specific like interpretation you're supposed to take from it that feels so like anti like that's like the antithesis of like minimalism and visual storytelling. You should be able to draw any kind of conclusion you want, because this game obviously is not taking place in the real world, and I had no like I wouldn't have thought that like it's supposed to like have any like any kind of like real life parallels, or like or this world is supposed to be in any way similar to our own. So I thought it was supposed to be like a purely metaphorical like type of game where it's like it's not like really like happening. It's just like sort of like a visual representation of feelings. So the idea that no, this is supposed to be like a real world, and like this statue lady is like a real person that this player character knew, and I guess she's walking around the world and there's fucking statues of this person that she knew.
It's the Statue of Liberty, man. It's all about her losing her freedom or whatever to the damn commies. Don't you get it, bro?
GRIS is all about communism.
I'm going to quickly say something real quick before Andrew runs back, because I'm agreeing with pretty much everything that he's saying, so I don't know if there's much I'm really going to say about the game, but I'll say this real quick. Never before have I played a game that is so simultaneously vague but on the nose at the same time that it's absolutely painful. And to be completely honest, the more we're talking about it, the less I'm liking it in retrospect. I had this rated at 3 stars out of 5 on Backlogged. That rating is certainly dropping by the time that we're done, but we'll see where that lands, will we?
Okay.
I don't like this game. Anyway, Andrew, continue, because again, you're saying everything I want to say anyway.
Okay, I think it's becoming a little bit too negative. I did overall enjoy the game. It seems like more than Ethan, and I will say that this game does have pretty good pacing, and it doesn't overstay its welcome, in my opinion. It seems like Ethan might disagree with that, but
it put me to sleep.
And that's fine. But for me, though, it did keep me engaged enough. The gameplay loop, it's particularly with like the swimming controls, I thought were pretty awesome. And there's some of the...
The swimming is really fun.
There was some pretty good like platforming sections where like it actually took me a few tries. It was not like a worthless experience or whatever. My main gripe is that I just don't like that the 100% ending feels like less poignant than the regular ending. That's my main like thing here. And also it's I also kind of think that this game might have worked better as like a 20-minute short film as opposed to in a video game. But,
oh my hell, yes.
Honestly,
jeez.
Yeah,
I
probably.
would have much rather watched a freaking 20-minute rundown of this than spent like 4 hours, I'm actually playing through it, and 6 if we include the nap I took while I fell asleep while playing it. Dear Lord.
Although I do gotta say though, the last level was really interesting. That was probably like, aside from like the forest level just being like overall aesthetically pleasing and just really fun to be in, the final level where you're on like the glowy like palace area, I just really enjoyed that area because it looked super pretty. There's a lot of cool puzzles in it, and then the music was really cool, and then the fact that you're singing like played into like the soundtrack as well was pretty neat. So I don't know, I just really liked that level.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And so right when it was starting to drag like a little bit, it piqued my interest again, and I was like, oh sweet, this area is neat. So yeah,
I'll say this. It's quite obvious that I'm the most negative person here on the whole shebang. And the thing is I don't want to come off as somebody who is, dumb monkey brain, only like shooty bang kind of experiences, because that's certainly not the case. I mean, there's many phenomenal indie titles that I certainly enjoy, and even combatless games that I certainly enjoy. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. My big thing is that GRIS is the most bog standard 2D platformer that I could honestly think of, with the most simplistic, bare bones mechanics that you can throw into it to not have it basically feel like a Mario clone in essentially like simple run, jump, reach, end in terms of that design philosophy. Not like you're not jumping on little mushrooms or whatever, obviously, but it's so, again, it's just very much the bare minimum of game design in here, that it feels like it's just a masturbatory piece of art, and the bare minimum to be distinguished as such, in terms as a video game. Because when you look at the individual pieces of art for the game, again, the visuals are fantastic. I took many screenshots while playing it. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Looks amazing. And again, the music, arguably better than the visuals. I could listen to a compelling argument between the two.
I've listened to the soundtrack several times while at work, so
yeah, I mean, like, again, arguably, again, it could be argued better than the visuals. It's simply fantastic. But as an interactive experience, it's dull, it's derivative, it outstays its welcome for me. It's so boring. Again, it put me to sleep. I never want to play it again. Because again, while I can certainly enjoy it from a distance and be like, yes, that's certainly a beautiful looking and sounding experience, when playing it, it is just press right, press A, keep pressing right, keep pressing right. Oh, now you got a logic puzzle that you need to do. No, you're just going to have to press A few times or whatever. And then, now you're just pressing the walk button again.
Mm-hmm.
And more, and that shit's really boring. Hell, dude, I've played walking simulators. Again, What Remains of Edith Finch is a phenomenal game. It's one of my favorites of all time. That shit did a walking simulator better than GRIS did. I can, the thing is that for every single point of inspiration that GRIS very obviously has, because it wears its influences on its sleeves, I can think of a game that does that thing better than GRIS does in a multitude of different ways. Again, this is not to say that I do not see the passion, I do not see the heart in the game, because I do. I see it. It's there, and I admire it for those aspects that work. But when taking a look at it as a game, again, it's boring, it's derivative, and it lacks an original bone in its body outside of character do cool morph. Oh, I make big heavy block. Like, again, like all these, like, I don't know, abilities and whatever. We've seen this shit before. We've seen it before. It's that, but it's like stripped down to its like very base core mechanics and everything. And it just sits there and it just wastes your time with really long ass puzzles to do. I have to keep climbing up the thing, and my movement speed is so damn slow. And it's not like I don't want to be sprinting through the whole game. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Doom Eternal. I'm not racing through it or whatever. But with the movement speed so slow and areas so large, and I'm just sitting here just pressing and holding the walk button for so long my thumb hurts. It's like, oh my hell, can I play anything else right now? If it wasn't for the fact that it was so short, I wouldn't have finished it. But I was losing my patience during the red section of the game, when you get the block ability and everything. I was already at that point like,
I was pretty early.
How long is this gonna go? And then it just kept going and going and going and going. I fell asleep during the tree level, but then it kept going and going and going. And then the water level happened, where I was like, okay, the water flingy stuff, that's, hey, that feels kind of cool. Some of these puzzles are actually pretty fun. And then you get to the final section of the game where it's just walk, 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 press the B button, walk, and that's one of the ones button, that I enjoyed more. walk, press the B button. Like, oh my hell, oh my hell. And it would have been worth it if the story was something interesting. That's where I think I really drew the line. Because again, I've played walking simulators that I've really liked. Again, Edith Finch, fantastic. Its gameplay, extraordinarily simplistic. It is a walking simulator. It is walk and interact. That's it. But it had a really cool story that acted as an intriguing narrative hook to the whole shebang. Not this intentionally vague yet still on the nose whole, ooh, good, so big depression, ooh boy, because we're an indie game and we only can do 2 narrative themes, and in here we can't do anything original. Oh, main character so sad. Oh man, big boo-hoo, and everything. And it's like I knew where it was going right from the very beginning, because what the hell is like where's the creativity in terms of storytelling here? It's nowhere. Again, it's the same derivative bullshit that we've seen time and time again, and it's like I already knew where it was gonna go, and it was so freaking boring to get there just to get to the conclusion that I knew it was gonna reach anyway. It was like, great, I wasted 4 hours of my life. Fantastic. I'm glad it was already in my Steam library, that I got it from a Humble Bundle like freaking 2 years ago or anything, so I didn't feel like I wasted my money. But holy shit, I would be really aggravated if I spent 4 hours in this game and I just bought it off the sale and everything and I could not refund it. Boy, this got very negative. I am so sorry.
I was trying to bring it back a little bit.
Oh my lord, I was not this negative, honestly, before we started recording. But the more that we're talking about it and everything, the more it just pisses me off.
As a bit of a palate cleanser. What do you think was the best cinematic like portion of the game? Because I think there was a few parts where like something like came out of the background, or you like kind of like sort of a cutscene or something like that just kind of like impressed you.
The opening cutscene was honestly like the kind of like the coolest part.
Okay, that's a good one.
Where she's doing the singing and then the voice loss like midway through that, and then the falling and everything, and then she falls to the floor and collapses. It was immediately at that point where I was like, oh, it's a depression game.
Okay. What about you and what about Ben and Elias?
I really liked honestly really liked the ending animation, because it like when it shows like the or the animation when it when the eel like turns into GRIS, and then like
that was
whatever
so corny. I laughed
really liked
at
it.
that scene. I was like, give me a break. Are you kidding me? Come on. We've done
really
this
liked
a million
it,
times before.
What about the part with like what about the part with like the pentagon, like it becomes like a sea turtle, and then I think it opens up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that
was
beautiful.
Good. That was really good. Also, like that weird like spider like robot thing, that it becomes like a platform, and then like, you guys remember that?
For like 2 seconds.
Hey, that's a lot of effort to put into like 2 seconds of gameplay. I appreciate that.
I mean, for sure, yeah. But it's interesting that it's kind of gone. Oh, to be fair, I think they do actually bring something up like that earlier on in the game, where you get the during the rock area, where you get a guy that does something similar to that, something that you ride on a platform. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a null and void criticism. Disregard that. That that was me thinking of something that like, another one of the kind of like tropey whatever, like one and done sort of ordeals. But no, it's something that like they kind of iterate on as the experience continues, and I give credit where credit's due on that for sure.
Now I've got to say, one person is still a little bit out of the conversation, but apparently has a lot to say. So, Elias, I want to say you wrote pretty much like an essay about it, and you really enjoyed it. So what you got for us?
At this point, no comment, because I'm just going to get made fun of.
No. We are going to be quiet, and you tell us what you liked about it, Elias. So tell us your experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be someone who, and this should be understood through friends and the like, as someone who's as passionate about art and everything as everybody else is here. I'm not someone to take away another person's experience that they have with something, whether I like it or not. I am not someone who is here to invalidate other people and their opinions and so forth.
I think
children do that. While I'm certainly very negative on this experience and so forth, I'm very glad that the rest of you enjoyed it. Obviously, it makes it a far more interesting discussion to have a dichotomy of opinions and so forth. But again, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it as much as you did. Again, I did not like it. Obviously I did not like it, but I'm not going to sit here and then sit around and I bitch about the issues that I had with the game, and then when someone says, and goes into a detailed explanation as to why they love it, I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to invalidate you because of that. So, you're safe with me. I'm not going to do anything like that. I allow you. Jeez, what am I, like a king or something? No, I'm just some schlubby dickhead. Anyway, the floor is yours, Elias. You may go ahead and you may say your piece.
I'll just keep it short then. For the most part, I was planning to 100% it. I never got around to it. Now I kind of don't want to. I mean, I'm not one to care for spoilers to begin with, but I think after having listened to everyone here, which was kind of nice, because I do like listening to other people more than talking, to be honest. I've realized that when I play games, how do I explain? I had it prepared in my head how I was going to explain this. I'm very self-inserting when it comes to games. I've never cared for the original creators' like vision on something, to be honest. I'll read up on it and be like, oh, okay, cool. If that was the original intention, the Five Stages of Grief, then they did a horrendous job on it, because that is not the vibe it gave off. Yes,
interesting.
The whole depression-y thing, the trope, yes, that's the thing, I know that, but sometimes sitting with the trope is nice, you know. I have a friend that complains about anime the same way that Ethan complains about this game, and it's hilarious to see exactly how they both think exactly the same. Because I'll sit there and watch an anime and be like, hey, this is pretty okay, you know, I know it's a trope, I know it's shit, I know it's garbage, but like, it works, and it makes my heart happy. From an objective viewpoint, yes, gameplay is kind of repetitive. Yes, it can get slow. You know, thinking back on it and double thinking back on it now, because I did go back and write an essay. But the themes with depression that I found, that I agree with Andrew on, like, I think we both have the exact same ideas on how that was built. That hit me personally very hard, and I made a few more connections, and I wrote about it in the essay. But the initial and seeing all the statues and things like that, for me, it really hurt. I remember almost crying like halfway through the game, because I could see so much of myself in it, if that makes sense. And because it looked very much like a cycle, and you could see all the, you know, the repetitive, and I think that was the part of like repetitive gameplay and stuff. You know, moving right and holding A, you know. Sometimes that's all. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. God. Sometimes when I was very much depressed, right? Holding right and pushing A was all I could do. So, oh God.
I can definitely see that. Yeah,
you're right.
But yeah, sorry, I'm trying to like.
I never thought of that. That's yeah, you know, that is such a good point. So many people correlate like pressing right just to continue like in the game as kind of like, they kind of conflate that with bad game design, because like, oh, they didn't have an idea. But like, no, think about it, there is so many times in life where that is really all you can do. And for a game to like actually like put that as part of its game design, I didn't even think of that. That is actually pretty brilliant. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what was I gonna say? Each initial stage as you move through, very much closely correlated to when I got out of depression and things like that. You know, and I still fall into it every once in a while. But you know, the initial fall, losing the voice to me was losing your how did I put it in the essay? Your drive, and the word drive could be very many things, right? So for me, it was like your drive to live, your drive to be able to do something you love, your drive to be able to just even wake up in the day, you know, things like that. And that initial scene, she actually won't move. She never gets up unless you push something. You have to do something originally to get her to move, which, you know, is a very cliche and tropey mechanic. I get that, but to me, it was like a cool, you did the first step. and then the initial like slow movement, and you slowly pick it up, and everything's starting off as a blank white slate of nothingness, and it's just. And the nothingness is the part that hit me the most, because everyone thinks depression is blackness and darkness, and yeah, it can be, but depression more so is emptiness.
It's great.
And nothingness.
It's great.
Yeah.
Great. GRIS.
Yeah,
there you go.
GRIS. There you go. And so as you progress through the game, the initial desert section hit me really hard, because I've always been a very big self-critic. My entire life has been built upon me saying that I'm never good enough. And that's the reason I improve at things very quickly, because I would do something very well, at least according to other people, and then I'll tell myself, no, that was shit, you suck, and then I will find a way to improve. That's how I've always improved at things very quickly, which is very not healthy, but that's just how my brain works. And so that initial desert section, when the organ comes in and the sandstorm hits and she's hanging on for dear life, just reminds me of when I would scream at myself or, say bad things and things like that. And to see her push through that and gain that ability where she stands steadfast as a rock and pushes through the storm, she's gaining the drive back and starting to work her way back into things. You get through that section, you get to the underlying negative section where you see where the depression's hidden. It's hidden underneath everything, right? You don't really realize that's it, and then you break it open because you have to come to terms with the fact that, hey, things are bad. And by coming to terms with it, you release it into your little imagination or into your mind, right? But that's the thing that propels her to keep going. You get through that section, you go up the windmill, you get through the whole thing, and then you go back to the beginning. The forest to me was one of the key moments, because that's what you gained. You already had what was it, green and red at the time, and you get to the very end, or you get to the forest, and you meet that little friend, and this friend licks his apples, right? And you helped him get the apples. To me, that was when you have someone to support you, right? Because after you make that friend, which is very difficult initially, quote unquote, even though the game didn't make it difficult, you just give him an apple and he fixes it, right? He sticks with you, and then you need his help to get to the next section, basically. And then when you find the family and or all the other like living creatures inside the mound, or he leads you to those, that's realizing that there's more than just one person there to help you, and that you're not alone in this, right? And then pushing through that, the fight with the bird was another one. The blackness at that point being the quote-unquote depression in my version of the game, changing forms to even get you at your highest high, because you climb this whole thing. It's very pretty. The music really builds up. You start feeling hopeful, and then of course this thing that you thought couldn't reach you finds a way to get to you and just ruins your day, pushes you across, and then you unlock the color blue, and there's rain. Going down into the ocean. Crap, I'm losing my train of thought. There was so many things about the ocean that I had, but it basically for in each stage of the entire game from the 4 were the 4 stages that I would go through for my whole depression build, right? And then I don't know. To me, it was the game was about seeing that one time you actually do make it out, because of course you see all the broken statues and all the repetitiveness and everything where you've tried time and time again, and even though she makes it out, it could still happen again, and so you still have to go through that whole process all over again. So I don't know, that's what it was to me. And like I said, for a lot of games I tend to very automatically self-insert myself, and I don't care about whether something was intentional or not, because I'm making it my own experience, which when it comes to reviewing things tends to be not good in terms of objectivity, obviously, because I attach emotion to a lot of things. So I mean, I think that's all I have to really say. I guess from everything you guys said is definitely right, and listening to it kind of hurt me, but I mean, you're not wrong. It is kind of boring, and if you're if you're not someone to be very emotional like I am, I'm very easy to jump to emotion, then I can see that being boring. But I don't know. It definitely made an impact. I'm not gonna say it's the best game in the world, but it was a nice, it was a solid like 6 out of 10 for me. In terms of just connecting to me. So I don't know. I don't feel that the idea of it being the 5 stages of grief was very well done, if that's what they were going for, because that's not at all what I got from it. But art is art. You'll see it as you see it. But also, sorry for crying.
What just happened is why I love talking about art. If you can talk, you can talk about like any sort of like factual story or like moments from your life, and it's always just so like you can only interpret it in one way. Like when you like learn about history and stuff like that. But art, like the vast like difference between like all of our experiences with this game, it just like, even though like obviously some of us think it's amazing and some of us think it's really bad, it you can't definitively say that it's not art, because we all got something different out of it. And that is by far the most valuable thing about art, and why I love talking about it. So thank you so much, like all of you. That was the perfect way to describe art.
Especially Elias. Yeah, thank you for that. No, I mean, what that was beautiful. And that was simply fantastic. I know how you feel, because I do the same thing when it comes to other bits of media. I'm very happy that in a lot of places, at least per your explanation and what I picked up, that you've largely tackled your battles. Now, that does not mean that they are over. I know. I have many of my own. Many that I can certainly relate to, as per what you're saying. How media relates to me in that regard, though, is that I take a different approach to it. It's primarily through overcoming challenge for me. That helps to make me feel better, because I've always been put down and been shoved to the side from people. I was relentlessly bullied throughout entire like childhood. Essentially, it was horrid, and it left many mental scars for me. So I've used the whole overcoming insurmountable challenges as my kind of way to prove myself in a way. That's why I play the Call of Duty campaigns on Veteran, because it's something I prove myself with, that, hey, I can take on challenge. That's why I played all the Devil May Cry games back to back and whatever. It was a way to overcome that challenge and so forth. So I cannot in any way discount how you feel, despite my negative opinions of the game and so forth. This is what I love about art discussion, is that I can hear what you have to say, and I can totally agree with you on that. And again, what you stated was beautiful. Again, I'm still not a fan of the overall experience.
I get that,
but this is not about me. This is about you. And again, what you said, and it was frankly fantastic. And again, I know how you feel, and I know how art relates to you in that regard. And I see how GRIS did that for you. And that is a beautiful experience that I would never want to take away from anyone. So and again, I am someone who can take things a little personally when art is critiqued that I adore so much. I've really done the best I can to sort of nullify that with someone who does share their opinions online and who writes for a job and so forth. You kind of have to do that. It's not hard by any stretch of the word. Do not get me wrong. But I wanted to say is that from what I heard you saying, that from my rambling and obviously unprofessional critiques and so forth that I was throwing towards it, because I did not expect, of course, that we were going to have a very meaningful heart-to-heart discussion
immediately after that.
So I feel like a total jackass right now.
Don't
I did. My intention is not to try and again nullify what you were feeling and your overall opinions through my rambunctious negativity. So, from what I got from that, and I kind of heard you say that you kind of did take that a bit personally, and from there I would like to say I am sorry for that. That is obviously not my intention to make that something that is pinned as an attack against you. That is very obviously the last thing I would ever want to do to any of you, to anyone, honestly. So
I mean,
I hope
you didn't know. You didn't know. I was just being quiet the whole time and listening. So that's my bad.
Yeah,
too.
and to be fair, I should have taken that as a signal, but I did not. Nevertheless, I do very much thank you again for what you said. I presume at this point then that we have said our piece on GRIS. Haha, piece on GRIS.
Yeah, that was pretty enlightening.
It's on the grayness, baby.
Yeah, for sure. No, that was the realest discussion I think we've ever had, and the realest one I think I've ever had about a freaking video game. So hey, there's a lot of value here today. You got belching, you've got hammers banging in the background as I'm talking, you've got emotional statements, and you've got people bitching and moaning about stupid stuff in games. So what are we here for, man?
It's to grow
anyway
as people, and our discussion is a great way to learn about others and to learn stuff about yourself. And I hope that everyone everyone that's listening can take that to heart. Talk about the things you're passionate about. You learn things about people.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and we all, and everyone needs to take a lesson in learning to, as someone who, like, if you're somebody who has a negative opinion on something, to allow those with positive opinions to speak, to air, like, let them, reminisce or really explain their ground and so forth, and not to attack people because of that, because it's absolutely disgusting how much I see of that online. And if I'm to be completely honest, if I saw Elias try and share these words on like any of the sort of discussion circles I'm around in, he would have been ruthlessly attacked by like half the people on there, and it's absolutely disgusting. Like, freaking grow up, like, for crying out loud. Son of a bitch. Is it that hard? It's ridiculous. You can have opposing opinions on something and still get along. Whoa, yeah. Gee, while I'm here, The Last Jedi isn't as bad as people say it is. I had to bring it back to.
I enjoyed it. That's probably because I'm not a huge Star Wars
exactly.
fan.
Me too.
I mean, hey, I've loved Star Wars ever since I was a kid, and even then I was like, hey, that's okay. It's got problems, that's for sure, but like, shut up, stupid neckbeards. So yeah, no, we need to further platform this kind of positivity and so forth. And I want to say is that if we ever have a discussion topic or that anywhere between a game, or if we talk about something that really emotionally resonates with somebody and so forth, that obviously this place, this audio recording in the moment, is a safe space for you to do that. Do not let any of us bring you down on that and so forth, no matter what the discussion may have been previously to that. I will not tolerate it by any stretch of the word. Again, because as someone who, and now I'm kind of getting there too. As someone who does throw a lot of emotional investment into the art that they adore so much, and relates to it, and it does that kind of self-inserting, and who does things in their day-to-day life, be it in through work and through play, through because of traumas and scars and so forth, that that you are again that you're safe to do so, and that I will platform you to every extent that I can, and I will let you shine, and I presume that everyone else feels exactly the same way, because we're all cool.
That goes for us too.
So
yeah, you better. I'm gonna freaking kick your ass. Are you kidding? Like, anyway, gee whiz.
Well, that was quite the podcast.
Holy hell, it was.
Wow. No. Dude, this is our best episode yet, man.
Yeah, I agree.
Honestly,
this was interesting. Yeah, this was great. I'm not complaining by any stretch of the word. That was simply fantastic. Anyway, I guess this kind of concludes everything again that we were speaking about today. I will not let this, let myself long-windedly drag this on any further than what it needs to. So we will end with plugs and get this show on the road.
And a recommendation, right?
Once again. Do you want to do plugs first, or do you want to do that first?
Let's do plugs and then recommendation at the end.
Sounds good. I'll get mine just out of the way, because again, I have the smorgasbord of them. CBR, comic book resources, cbr.com. I write articles over there. I actually was able to pitch an article about the Doom 3 shotgun, and it got accepted, so hell yeah. I'm writing shitty meme articles and getting paid for it. Living the dream. I additionally write independently on Letterboxd, Medium, and Backlogged underneath Sir Ouijibo. Additionally, Twitter and Instagram at SirKBO. You will be able to find my links and so forth in a link tree that is both in the description of this podcast and additionally on the main profile of this account. So I will then pass it to Elias. You may plug.
Just SoundCloud under, I think it's just my name, Elias Fernandez. If not, the shortening of it is just EFA. But yeah, there you
go. You find me at artstation.com/Andrew Langston. If you want to commission me at andrewlangstonart@gmail.com. And on to you, Ben.
You can find me on Backlogged and Letterboxd at Thunderfellow. I sometimes review things.
Awesome.
Amazing. So, this leads Andrew to pitch a game for us to play. We've been talking about it previously. I don't know if it's the same game, but I'll take it away. Andrew, what are you recommending?
We are going to be playing the OG indie game. It is called Cave Story. Oh. It was made in 2004, I believe, by one single individual named Pixel. Might be his real name, I don't know. It is a really fun game with a really awesome battle mechanic, but you can tell it was made by one person, and he probably should have gotten some feedback on some areas. So I think it'll make for a fun discussion.
Sweet.
For sure.
Cool.
I think I want to double check that I nabbed that on the Epic Game Store because they gave out Cave Story Plus for free a little while ago, and I just need to double check that I grabbed it.
I think I did.
Yes, I do have it, so I will be able to get that installed and play it. Let's pray to God that it has controller support.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, no, it certainly seems interesting because I kind of like small classic style platformers, and especially stuff like Mega Man or whatever. This kind of looks like it's sort of similar to that, but kind of like a rage game at the same time.
It's not too bad. It's not too hard.
It seems like it might be up my alley.
I think you guys will like it a lot.
Sick. Cool. Well, that does it.
Awesome.
Stay happy, stay healthy. Gee, I don't know how to end this, so
bye.
Bye.
Bye.